not going to say anything anymore.
Mate, believe me, today, winter is the real deal here today. But yeah, listen, what I have heard from people that attended, the way that it's been described to me is we got the summer numbers that we used to get at the end of the protest, 200 roughly for one in the winter before Christmas. Whether you want to say that's a good thing or not, what I will say is, Daniel Levy, you're an absolute coward. You're an absolute fool, making sure that balloons are popped. Because apparently protests don't get to you, my friends.
Why? What happened, Dave? Can you clarify? What happened?
Yeah, people were going into the stadium and they were blowing them up on the concourse. Stewards have been told, pop them immediately, they're not allowed in. And then when people tried to get them on the pitch and went down to the front, the stewards were right there saying, we've been told you can't, I've got videos of it, you're not getting them on the pitch, not today, not this time. Throw them around the stands, whatever. Because Mr. Levy doesn't want the bad press, obviously, or hurty words on balloons. But I will say again, I am going to say this, there's a lot of this fan base, the match day going fan base, that talk the talk but won't walk the walk. I know a lot of people that did go, and I know the publicity and everything it got was fantastic work from Jay, Change the Spurs, YouTube channels talking about it, fans talking about it on Twitter. But once again, talk the talk, but when it comes to walking the walk, they do not. Listen, I am so deflated and with this football club. Listen, I think you should rename your channel We Are Inconvenience FC, because that's what the football has become. We are an inconvenience for this football club. Football clubs, like your Liverpools, you can see, are genuinely building a team, building like they always do, to compete for the league, to compete for titles, to bring glory to the fans, to bring glory to this club, their illustrious club, bring history. We bring bloody Squid Games and a blimp. We bring Netflix partnerships. We bring all these little. Oh, don't forget Tiger Beer. Don't forget Tiger Beer, so we can engage and it will spread our reach further. Should be Cobra Beer. We should have got with for the Snake Levy is. Listen, to me, I am so deflated, and you know what? There's no. I have backed and backed and backed and backed Ange, and I will stay backing him. But I'm sorry, any home manager of Tottenham Hotspur who concedes 6 goals at home, questions need to be asked. Yes, you can say injury-ravaged team, which we do have. But you keep playing that line, the midfield non-existent. You can't, even at 4-1, the damage was done, no substitutions. I know the bench wasn't, but you bring freshness. We're talking about injuries, and these players look exhausted. Listen, this whole club needs a postmortem, an inquest. You look at it as well, like you said, Ben, I heard Stel mentioning Forest and stuff. I'm going to elaborate on it a bit. This is the first time since Harry Redknapp took over from One Day Ramos that the great Tottenham Hotspur in the bottom half of the league at Christmas. Teams like Nottingham Forest.
First time since when? Sorry, One Day Ramos.
Since Harry Redknapp took over from One Day Ramos.
Right. Got you, yeah.
When we had 2 points from 8 games.
Yeah.
Teams like Bournemouth, Brighton and Nottingham Forest weren't even in the Premier League. Teams like Bournemouth, Brentford and Nottingham Forest didn't have game-changing stadiums. Teams like those mentioned above, and others like Fulham and other clubs, didn't have Champions League money coming in and out. Teams above us did not have star players like your Gareth Bales, your Harry Kanes, and all these go, and then your budget reduced and the quality not matched. There is no accountability at this football club, and things just go downward and downward and downward on the playing side and the footballing side, and no one bats an eyelid. We all clap like seals. Oh, yes, we're entertained. Oh, yeah, carry on. Crack on.
Do you feel like, embarrassment. Brian, I asked this to Stel, but you cast your mind back to AVB when things weren't going right, probably on a consistent basis, probably not as bad in terms of results as they're going now. But it was that Liverpool game when we lost 4-0 at home that was the straw that broke the camel's back, wasn't it? Do you feel like it will be like do you reckon a result like this could be that? Because you're talking about it's an embarrassment to concede 6 goals at home, but it could have been a lot more today.
Listen, you look at it. You look at it right now. Manager goes. I am totally where you two are when it comes to Ange, and I've said it all along. I just literally, I will completely stay with the manager. But whoever comes in, they're doomed. Before the ink on their contract dries, they're doomed. They are doomed for failure. So why change it?
Yeah. I mean, how do you even go through what happened on the pitch today? Because it was embarrassing from minute 1 to the end of the game at 90. We nearly gave away 2 goals in the opening 2 minutes of the game with the poor passing out the back. Pedro Porro completely nowhere to be seen at right back. Playing an 18-year-old at centre back who's done well against a failing Manchester United side and a Southampton side. And I don't want to go into him too much because he's just a kid trying to make his name in the game, playing out of position. I mean, where do we even start from what went wrong on the pitch today?
Well, one of the first things I noticed, obviously, the first goal, surely you know well enough, do not give Trent Alexander-Arnold that amount of freedom.
Yeah.
Too easy.
You cannot do it. He has got a wand of a right foot like Beckham. If he gets the ball at his feet with that much space, you know what's going to happen. And it happened. And do you know what it was? The one that got me is the first half we started off shaky, but we started doing some bits. And I thought, okay, maybe we can do something. But you just saw how simple it was for the fourth goal and for the second half. All over the top. That's it. We're through.
Yeah,
all over the top. All over the top. All over the top.
Well, this is the thing, Daigle. It was driving me absolutely bananas the whole game. Every single time they came on an attack, the ball was just knocked over or knocked into the channels, and they were just there, threatening us every single time. And this is where I kind of understand where fans like Stelios sit, because they're seeing the absolute, kind of stubbornness of Ange not to change things ever and just to go with the same tactics again and again and again and not tweaking things at all, which is, for me, part of the reason that we got hammered so badly today is the fact that we didn't tweak things. We said, this is how we're going to play. Liverpool said, okay, no problem. You're going to play like that. We're going to smash you. And that's what they did. I just don't get it.
Look, I mean, you know what it is before? Listen, let's look at this on the positive let's evaluate this. Obviously, there are a lot of injuries. There is no getting away from that. If that full team was out there, do I think the result is the same and the performance is the same? No. Do I think we can compete with them properly, toe-to-toe? Maybe give them a game, but you could see Liverpool, one chance, one goal, that they're ruthless, they will take it. Are we that at the moment? No. Do we have this whole season before the injuries? Could we have rotated a bit better to keep players fresh? Yes, we could have. We didn't. That's whatever way you want to look at it. But
Brian, we were all saying at that stage of the season when we had everyone fit and the Europa League was coming around that he's doing a great job rotating the team. We were playing a lot of the youngsters in the
League. Yeah, he was, mate. You're right. Actually, you're right, Ben. So I'll go back. You were right. I was actually pleased with what he was doing. I remember last season I was even saying to you I want Europa League to give the youngsters more of a chance. But it's gone down to the bare bones right now. And you look at Archie Gray, who I think was doing well against State. I think Archie Gray is a superb buy, and I think he is going to be a fantastic footballer for this football club. There's so much pressure on him. I think the problem that we've got again, and the midfield today, I weren't happy. Apart from Sarr, Bissouma was really poor for me today. Really, really poor. And Maddison, apart from the goal,
did nothing. Yeah,
anonymous.
Exactly. And then what we're doing is because of that, because we're trying to get that midfield with that creativity or whatever. We put Kulu out. Thank God for Kulusevski. Thank God for that man. Because we're putting him in a position where I saw him going from right, start on the right, saw him at the left, where we know surely he's been our best player all season. I think everyone could agree on that. You play him in his strongest position. But because of this injury issues and everything, we've needed to change. And unfortunately, the strength in depth, again, isn't good enough.
But Liverpool... You say that...
Sorry, it's better. I just want to say, like, what we've said as well, Liverpool bring through young talent all the time through their youth. They always do it. They've always been successful at doing it. But there's always stars around them. There's always those big-time players at the big game moments, or those big draw players that are there to nurture them and show them the way through and support them and give them their education on the field. It doesn't happen here.
You talk about, Kulu has to play on the right because of the injuries and the strength and depth, but Brennan Johnson has been on the bench for the past 2 games. Brennan Johnson could have played on the right, and Kulusevski, I thought he was poor when he was out on the wing today, but as soon as he moved into the middle, he actually started to make stuff happen.
Well, the thing is that you look at it, Johnson could have gone there, but do you know what? Porro, who was so poor against Stay, he really was, he would have been even stretched even further with Brennan Johnson, and I'll back Brennan to the hill, or try to, and will continue to. But we've seen how exposed it is when he is there. And today they would have had a field day with us, Liverpool, wouldn't they?
Well, they had a field day there anyway, first of all. And second of all...
No, you're right, Ben. You're right.
They had a field day there anyway. And second of all, in the midfield, we needed Kulusevski still in the midfield, where, the midfield was a gaping hole. I mean, Maddison and Basuma were doing nothing to protect anything in the middle of the park. And as soon as Kulusevski went there, I know they still scored a couple of goals, but I think Kulusevski actually looked good when he went into the middle, where he was poor on the other side.
This is the thing. This is what we're doing right now. We're just so threadbare and unprepared because of the amount of injuries that have come in, and because of the poor window, that it's all coming on top of us. It's all coming on top of us. And do you know what? Honestly, Nottingham Forest away on Boxing Day. There are big issues here, and listen, I'll talk about Ange a bit more because I want him to succeed. I believe, given the right tools and the exact players, he can succeed. But I hope there is some accountability for him today, because we keep playing this way. With players like Archie Gray, bless him, who have just come into the Premier League, they can't keep up with people like that. They're literally like Liverpool. You need to be able to adapt and change. You need to be able to do something different, and it's just a shame, because I think the Wolves are closing in on him. I really do, and I don't want it to happen. But in January, are they going to go, right, Ange, what do you need? What do you want? I'm going to back you all the way. No. Well, I mean, I honestly want Ange to succeed and think he can, but he needs to help himself as well a bit, maybe, and just... I mean, Bergvall, I think I'll drop Basuma for Bergvall straight away for Forest. He's got to give some of these players a rest, or actually use the word drop a few for really bad performances. And he needs to be backed heavily in January, which he won't. And we're screwed again.
Brian, always a pleasure to speak to you, my friend. Hopefully your venting has got a bit out, mate, and you can relax for the rest of the day, but I doubt that very much.
Relax in that cold, minus 23. How can you relax? You've got to try and stay alive.
I'm now going to go freeze. I'm now going to be freezing my nuts off, but singing the Kulusevski song all the way to the Union Station. And then whatever. But listen, everyone in the chat and in the back end and everything, happy holidays. Happy and healthy New Year. Who knows? It might be. It's lucky for Spurs when the year ends in 5, is what I've been told. Let's hope. Let's hope. Right. Have a good one, people. See you later.
With that team, we just got dicked by 6 goals coming up in the semi-finals. Yeah, good luck with that one, Brian.
Yeah, good luck. It's lucky for Spurs when the year ends in 5. Let's go with it until we're out of 3 cups, and then we'll go. There's always next year. There's always next year.